In today's video, we're going to cover my video game and other pickups for the month of September 2020. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I'm not going to have as many pickups in this video as I normally do in some of my previous pickups videos, simply because I did not pick up any game lots in the month of September, which honestly, let's be honest, is probably for the best, because damn, there's games all over this house. That's not necessarily a good thing. Anyways, so let's go ahead and kick things off with this. So a while back, I got a lot of systems, just a big tote full of game systems for 120 bucks. The caveat was that most of the game systems did not work, okay? Well, thankfully I have a cousin who is very knowledgeable about repairing electronics, and I sent the tote of systems to him, and he has begun repairing several of them. And so far he has repaired this teal Game Boy Color, and it is in perfect working order, as well as this grape Game Boy Color, and they're both in perfect working order. He had to clean some corrosion off the battery ports. He had to change some speakers in one of them. He had to do a lot of stuff, but they're both working perfectly now, which is awesome. And he also repaired this black Nintendo DSi, and it is now in perfect working order. And lastly, he repaired this yellow Game Boy Pocket, which you don't really see the yellow Game Boy Pockets very often. They're pretty hard to find, but now this sucker works great, which is awesome. Now, as a lot of you know, a couple of months ago I bought an entire game collection from a guy that lives near me, and it was a lot of stuff. And in case you missed that video, I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. I encourage you to go check that out so that you can see everything that came in the game collection. It was pretty insane, and I'm still going through all of the stuff in that game collection just because of the sheer amount of items. I'm still going through it and deciding what I want to keep. So I want to go ahead and show you some of the new stuff that I've decided to keep out of that game collection. So first we have PS2 multi-tap. If you have a PS2, you gotta have a multi-tap so that you can play those 4-player games with friends and family. So that was a must. Next up, I'm planning on getting into light gun games pretty soon, courtesy of Gaming Off the Grid. If you're not familiar with their YouTube channel, I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. If you like beer, if you like retro games, if you like gaming period, and couch co-op games, then I highly recommend you check out their channel. And they cover a lot of light gun games. And here I've got the GunCon 2, the Namco GunCon 2 for the PlayStation 2. In addition to that, I've also got the Namco GunCon for the PlayStation 1. So pretty soon I'm going to start digging into some light gun games on the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2, and I'm pretty excited for that because I do enjoy light gun games quite a bit. And there were a couple of Xbox One games I decided to keep out of the lot. First we have Halo 5 Guardians, which from what I understand a lot of people don't like Halo 5, so I'll just have to wait and judge it for myself. And then we have this pretty cool game called Scream Ride. I don't really know much about this game, but it looks pretty interesting. It's like you're creating roller coasters in a theme park or something like that, and then riding them. It sounds pretty interesting. Sounds pretty different. I recently got a backwards compatible PlayStation 3, and something a lot of you probably don't know about me is I've never played a PlayStation 3 before in my life. So I'm looking to start digging into the PlayStation 3 library. So I've got a pretty big stack of PlayStation 3 games here that I decided to keep. First off, we have Sports Champions 2, Resistance 2, Beyond Two Souls, God of War Ascension, God of War 3, MotorStorm, MotorStorm Pacific Rift, MotorStorm Apocalypse, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, Time Crisis Raising Storm, which is a pretty uncommon PS3 game, The Last of Us, absolute masterpiece. I have the remastered version on the PlayStation 4, but I had to have a copy on the PS3 as well because I just love the game that damn much. And then we have all 3 Uncharted games on the PS3. Heavy Rain, Killzone 2 and 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, which I've heard is fantastic, and Twisted Metal, which I've also heard is fantastic. So that's the next batch of games that I've decided to keep from that game collection I bought. There will be more to come because I'm still going through it, so I'll be showing you more in future videos. Next up, I picked up a Super Nintendo game from my good friend Josh, and if you're on Instagram, I highly recommend following him on Instagram. His account name is GoTeamJosh. I'll leave that in the description down below. But this game that he sold me, I have over 200 games in my Super Nintendo collection, and I could not believe that I did not have this game in the collection. I was pretty shocked, and that is Contra 3: The Alien Wars. It's one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. Such a fantastic game, so brutally difficult, and now I have it in the collection, finally. So that makes me happy. So if you're Josh, if you're watching this, appreciate it, man. Got one Switch game in September. I've definitely slowed down on the Switch game pickups just because I'm really not buying a lot of brand new games here lately, just a couple here and there. But I picked up Bounty Battle from Merge Games. Had to have it imported. And the reason that I got Bounty Battle is because it is a indie fighting game where you play as indie game characters from a variety of really awesome indie games like Dead Cells, Blasphemous, Guacamelee, and it just, you know, the game's pretty fun. It's not the best fighting game I've ever played, but it's not too bad. But I just like the idea of being able to play as all these awesome indie game characters because I love indie games so much. So I've started to go down a new rabbit hole on the PlayStation 4, and that's the Yakuza series. So I started with Yakuza 0, and I'm still playing it. I haven't beat it yet. I think I'm about like 5-10 hours into it, but I am loving this game so damn much, having an absolute blast with it. So much so, in fact, that I plan on playing all of the Yakuza games. So I'm slowly trying to get them all on the PlayStation 4. So I also got Yakuza Kiwami. I already have Yakuza Kiwami 2. As a matter of fact, that was in the last pickups video, I believe. So I got Yakuza Kiwami. And then I also got Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. And this version is pretty cool because it comes with an art book, and the game disc is actually in the art book. So it got some art in there. So pretty cool little package. The only thing I don't like about this copy of Yakuza 6 is the case is quite a bit bigger than a normal PlayStation 4 game. And that part I don't care too much for because it doesn't match as good on the shelf. But, you know, it's just a minor nitpick. It's still pretty cool to have, and I may get the regular version at some point. But so there you go. I'm getting into the Yakuza series, and it is awesome. Also picked up for the Xbox 360 Call of Duty Black Ops and Black Ops 2 combo pack because I wanted to play the Zombies mode. And the Zombies mode is pretty fun, but damn is it hard. I'm not very good at it, at least not yet anyways. And then for my good friend Carl, aka RetroGamingZone on Instagram, I'll leave that in the description down below. He hooked me up with a sealed copy of Shovel Knight on the Wii U. Now, Shovel Knight's one of my favorite indie games of all time. I plan on leaving this copy sealed because I have a copy of it on the Switch that I play. So this one's staying sealed because this might be worth something one day. So I'm going to keep it sealed and I'll just play my Switch copy. But Shovel Knight's such a great game, and I'm going for every game on the Wii U. I'm going to try to complete that collection at some point. So there's another addition to that. This last game pickup is actually pretty funny because, well, it's not really a game, first of all, people. It's Pokemon Box. I'll go ahead and show you. I finally picked up Pokemon Box on the GameCube. I've been planning on buying it for a couple years now, and honestly, I could have bought it anytime I wanted to. I just decided not to until now, and I'll explain why. Because somebody on YouTube pissed me off. This jackass on YouTube claimed that the reason that I didn't have, on one of my GameCube videos, he claimed that the reason that I didn't have Pokemon Box was because I couldn't afford it. And you know what? That pissed me off, and that was motivation enough to decide to go ahead and pull the trigger on it and buy Pokemon Box. So I did. I bought it from a fellow collector on Instagram, and he gave me a really good deal on it, so I was very happy about that. It doesn't have the manual, but it does have the disc and the memory card. Everything's in good condition. The case is in good condition. So I have Pokemon Box in my collection now, and it's not a game, first of all, so I don't consider it part of a complete GameCube game set because it's not a game. It even says on the back of the box, this software is not compatible with the Game Boy versions of Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, or Crystal. It is software. It's basically something that you can store Pokemon on from Ruby and Sapphire, and if you have your Game Boy Advance connected to it, you can play Ruby and Sapphire on the TV. So it is software. It's a software application for the GameCube. It is not a game. So if you're going for a complete GameCube game collection, I don't consider this part of the set, and many others don't either. But anyways, I've always planned on buying it, and I've always been able to buy it anytime I wanted to, but dude on YouTube kind of pissed me off. I know it seems kind of petty, but in all fairness, I was always going to buy this at some point eventually. So I figured, why not go ahead and buy it now? But yeah, Pokemon box, that's another Grail item added to the GameCube collection. So next, Panasonic Q, I'm coming for you. So as a lot of you may know, I don't just collect video games, I also collect VHS, and just recently I started collecting Blu-rays. So I'm including VHS and Blu-rays in my pickups videos now as well. And I don't have any VHS to show, but I did get quite a few Blu-rays. Now this first stack of Blu-rays I got on Amazon, because if any of you guys out there collect Blu-rays or want to buy Blu-rays, check Amazon a lot, because there will be a lot of times where they'll have $15, $20 Blu-rays marked down to $5, so you can get some really good deals on Amazon. But we got Sicario, The Commuter, Jaws, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, American Assassin, Dunkirk, and the Hobbit trilogy, which comes with all 3 extended editions of the movies with all the special features as well. Because I have the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy, so I wanted to get the Hobbit one also to add to that. Now, the next stack of Blu-rays I bought from a guy, actually the same guy that I bought the huge game lot in the last video from. I bought these Blu-rays from him as well, and he gave me a great deal. Not all of these movies are movies that I would necessarily be interested in, but I went ahead and added them to the collection nonetheless, and he gave me a fantastic deal on these Blu-rays. So let's go ahead and run through these real quick. The Big Short, Heart's War, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Nim's Island, Money Pit, Minions, Parasite, Fight Club, The Day the Earth Stood Still, The Smurfs in 3D, Wall Street, Vixen the Movie, Drive, which I watched recently, and this movie is fantastic, The Big Lebowski, another great movie, The Never-Ending Story, that's a classic, The Bourne Supremacy, Cruel Intentions, Chasing Amy, Blue Jasmine, American The Bill Hicks Story, Pulp Fiction Steelbook, Prince Avalanche, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, The Adjustment Bureau, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Super Troopers 2, and Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. Really love collecting Blu-rays, and one of the main reasons why I'm collecting Blu-rays is because I want to preserve physical media, especially when it comes to movies, because all these streaming services, first of all, movies and shows get removed from these streaming services all the time, at any time. Second of all, these streaming services are starting to literally edit movies and shows, or if a particular episode of a show is too offensive, they'll literally pull it from the streaming service completely. Or they'll edit a movie to remove an offensive scene, or edit a show to remove an offensive scene, and I find that to be absolutely ridiculous. So at least with Blu-rays, you don't have to worry about that garbage, and you can have the movie preserved in its original format in the way it was originally meant to be watched. And lastly, a lot of you may not know this either, but I also collect card and board games and dice games, any kind of tabletop game. I love tabletop games, although I have slowed down on collecting them since I started collecting video games. Most of my collecting focus is geared towards video games. But every now and then I do buy a new board game or a new card game, and I'm going to start including those in the pickups videos as well, in case any of you are interested. And I picked up this game right here. Don't want to turn it up too much because the cards might fall in the box. Here, I got everything organized, but it's called Aeon's End 2nd Edition. And this is a deck building game for 1 to 4 players, a cooperative deck building game for 1 to 4 players, where you're trying to take on a big monster together and trying not to die. And it is really fun. Most deck building games, you shuffle your deck when it runs out, but in this game, you don't shuffle it, you simply flip it over. So in doing that, you know the order that the cards are going to be in your deck, and you can actually manipulate the order of the cards, and that plays into the strategy. Anyways, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on the game because there's plenty of videos if you want to learn more about it on YouTube. Just look it up. But it is a really fun deck building game, a really fun card game. And if you like cooperative tabletop games, I highly recommend checking this one out. So there you have it, folks. Those are my pickups for the month of September 2020. Now, I will go ahead and warn you, there's probably not going to be another pickups video for at least 2 months. But that video will cover 2 months worth of pickups, simply because of some stuff I've got coming up, and I don't anticipate that I'm going to have a lot of pickups for October and November. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait 2 months to do the next pickups video. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about anything that I showed in today's video, or if you have anything interesting to say about anything that I showed in today's video. Also, let me know in the comments down below what you picked up in the month of September, whether it be video games, comics, toys, movies. Throw all that in the comments down below. If you're new here, consider subscribing so that you can join the Retro Wolf family. And as always, folks, stay safe out there, keep playing games and having a good time, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.